Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Stocks in Asia saw mixed tepid trade on Wednesday as gains in Japanese stocks, which closed near records, and Aussie shares were offset by losses in China. The yen also touching its lowest level in 34 years, fueling intervention bets. Here at home, the PSE index finished modestly higher for the day at 69.03 before wrapping up for the Holy Week break. For the shortened trading week, it's up by 1/3 of 1%, though still down 0.6% for the month of March. But overall, the PSEI is still up 7% year to date.
In a way, maybe because it's also the end of the quarter, you said, end of the month. So people don't want to be long in their positions. But yet, despite that, right, because people are selling, it still went up. That's a good sign for me. And then, of course, there were some positive corporate news, SM entering into Citicorp. So that's also very good. So those are good signs to close before we go to Holy Week.
In corporate stories, ahead of the much-anticipated $1 billion REIT listing of its SM Prime, parent SM Investments buys 28.79% of Citicorp Energy REIT, or C-REIT, for 5 billion pesos. It bought from Citicorp Renewable Energy Corporation and Citicorp Solar Tarlac 1 a total of 1.88 billion shares at a cross price of 2.65 apiece, slightly lower than its last traded price of 2.79. C-REIT shares on voluntary trading halt, which will be lifted 9 a.m. April 1st next Monday. C-REIT is the largest renewable energy REIT landlord in the country, having about 7.16 million square meters of gross leasable area. Proceeds from the sale will help fund C-REC's 1,583 megawatt ready-to-build, under-construction solar power projects across 8 site locations nationwide, with its goal of contributing approximately 1 gigawatt of solar energy capacity per year as part of its 5-year pipeline rollout roadmap. Post-transaction, C-REC, an affiliate of EDSA Avedras Megawide, will continue to be the single biggest stakeholder in C-REIT with a 32.88% effective ownership. Meanwhile, Jollibee Foods is investing $28 million for 10% ownership of beverage company Botrista, another indication of its commitment to grow its coffee and tea business. Botrista holds more than 100 patents globally for its proprietary dispense technology, which provides automated solutions to serve cold specialty coffee and tea-based drinks with premium and all-natural ingredients. Jollibee hopes investments like this will help create a gateway to tap the $3 trillion worth of total addressable market for beverages industry globally by expanding distribution channels and providing consumers with healthier options.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-5600 3929. That's 855 332 3929. Call 855 332 3929.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today I have a very interesting, exciting, and very intelligent person in our show today. And his name is Professor or Dr. Manu Jena. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. And Dr. Jenna will be talking to us about something quite unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar to me, but I guess to some of our viewing audience, it is not. Okay, help me welcome Professor Jenna or Dr. Jenna in our show. Hi, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And okay, Dr. Jenna is an academic chairman and co-founder of Porosome Therapeutics, Inc. Porosome Therapeutics. Okay, he has discovered something in the cellular level. And okay, welcome to our show, Dr. Jenna.
Thank you.
Okay. This very interesting concept that you discovered is called the Porosome. Can you please talk to us about it? First thing, please tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background.
Okay, so I'm a cell biologist and chemist. I've worked for many years on the fundamental process by which cells communicate with each other in our bodies. So we as human beings are made up of almost 38 trillion cells. So if you take these cells and you put them side by side, it can go through half the globe. And if you take the DNA from each cell has 6 feet of DNA. So if you take the DNA and you line them up, the length of the DNA will be we can span between the sun and the earth more than 60 times. So that much information is there in us. And all these cells, DNA is the master molecule that produces molecules in the body like proteins, and cells can talk with each other. So I'm talking with you. Cells are communicating, nerve cells are communicating with each other. When we eat, our cells secrete digestive enzymes that digest food. And when the food is digested, then the blood sugar level goes up, and therefore the beta cells that secretes insulin. So all this process is called cell secretion from cells that allow us to be who we are, to think, to understand, to live normal lives. Yeah. When that secretion process is altered, is changed, then there are many diseases. such as diabetes, Alzheimer's, neurological disorders that lead to Alzheimer's, uh, and cystic fibrosis, and many such diseases. So I've been working on this for more than 45, almost 50 years, I should say. I started my career very young. In India, I came to the US about more than 40 years ago to do my doctorate. And then I was a professor at Yale. Now I'm a professor at Wayne State University and many other affiliations I have. And I started an institute in Boston called the Molecular Medicine Institute. And also, this work that we did allowed us to find this structure called the porosome, which is the structure that allows cells to secrete molecules like neurotransmitters, like insulin, like mucin from our lung epithelial cells. Yeah? And therefore, this structure has become an important, important machinery in the cell that allows communication, and the proteins in the structure that participate in this machinery are important drug targets, because if the machinery, as I said, if it goes wrong, then you get disease like diabetes or cystic fibrosis. And so now with this machinery, knowledge of this machinery has allowed us to treat many diseases. So that's where we are. And that's the reason I started the porosome therapeutics, so that it will help many diseases, to bring cures to many diseases.
It sounds exciting, although I guess many of us don't have scientific minds. But can you tell us what are the diseases that this porosome is curing for the treatment?
Yes. So there are many secretory diseases, including cancer, diabetes, and I said Alzheimer's, neurological disorders, immune disorders. But let me give you one example. So, for example, in cystic fibrosis, which we are now dealing with, in cystic fibrosis, people are unable to produce mucus. So all of us normally, when we, in the lungs, mucus is secreted. And so throughout the day, we can breathe in air that has many particles in it. And this mucus allows these particles to be cleared from the lungs so that the lungs can stay healthy.
That's me right now. With, I guess, with the mucus. And
mucus is allowing you to stay healthy because you are able to take the mucus out and throw it. But in case of cystic fibrosis, the patients, they develop this mucus that is secreted is very thick and therefore is unable to clear from the lungs. And therefore, people have lung infections. And that results in many morbidity, mortality, and deaths. And what we have done is, through the porosome, and these mucus is secreted through the porosome structure. And now what we have done in these patients, that we can take the normal porosome that is not defective, and this porosome is a very small, tiny structure, and we can put that back into the patient's lungs, and then the lungs now can function normally, and therefore they can have normal lives. That is one example.
wow. Really?
So let me tell you this. So for example, there is a new drug that is now being given, and it's a very important drug that has helped now the cystic fibrosis community to treat cystic fibrosis. This drug is targeting one of the porosome proteins called CFTR, cystic fibrosis CFTR. It is a chloride channel. I don't want, for the normal public, I want to say that it is a channel that secretes chloride ions, yeah? And this is the channel that is mutated. So this drug called Trikafta is helping now people able to secrete mucus a little better and therefore have normal function. However, this drug can only do so much. There are many mutations in this gene, and there are other patients that cannot take this drug. That's one. And we have shown that porosome reconstitution is more than 2 times more effective than Trikafta. Moreover, it can overcome all different 2,000 gene mutations of this channel and therefore treat all patients worldwide. And that's why we are so excited. And we are now working very hard to try to bring this new therapy worldwide to everyone in a way that all cystic fibrosis patients can benefit from it. So that's what we are doing at Porosome Therapeutics.
So, is this discovery? You discovered this how many decades ago? About 2 decades ago.
About 3 decades, about 30 years ago, and it takes a lot of time. If you have a discovery, to bring it to the people, because discoveries have to be well vetted. The science has to be structured. Now, this is in the textbook for medical physiology textbook. Just like mRNA, you think about it. mRNA was first identified and discovered in 1961 in Pasteur Institute in Paris. And it took more than 60 years for us to say that we can use mRNA. But had it not been for the pandemic, it would have even taken longer. So we are happy that after 30 years of research and discovery of this structure, now we are using it to benefit society. And I gave you just one example of cystic fibrosis, but it also it can treat diseases such as cancer, diabetes, especially type 1 diabetes too, and neurological disorders.
So, can we say that the scientific world has accepted this kind of cure for people?
Yes, so it has been published now. We have data on that. So we have not only the porosome, so this porosome reconstitution has already been published for the diabetes therapy in endocrinology almost 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And as I said, this is now in textbooks. And recently there was a publication for children so that they understand it clearly about how cell secretion takes place by Professor Randy Schuckman, who won the Nobel Prize in 2013, saying that for children, he wrote and he showed the structure that is at the plasma membrane that allows secretion to take place.
So it's both for adults and children.
Yes, it can be used both for adults and children.
I see. How is it being marketed right now?
Well, what we are now in the process of doing is we want to do a few more studies for its what is the concentration that could be used. We have now an ability to scale it up in isolating the porosome. And then we are looking for a partner because we are a research company. We are a company which develops new products, and we are looking for a pharmaceutical company that would come and join forces with us, partner with us, so we can commercialize and have this therapy to the public.
Okay, Professor Jena, at this point in time, how do you and your company plan on reaching out to the humanity out there about this product?
Well, the most important thing is that we publish it. So we published it. We are now going to present it in different forums. I have discussed this with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. I have discussed this with people of different foundations with cystic fibrosis. I am going to discuss now this and let the FDA know that, Food and Drug Administration. At the same time, presentation of the data. For example, recently I gave a talk at different institutions. I'm receiving a prize from the Kalmas Foundation, a Lipid Science Prize, in a couple of months. That was actually awarded a couple of years ago to Carolyn Perico, who won the Nobel Prize last year for mRNA for the vaccine. So that's the only thing I can do as a scientist, tell the public. But our CEO, our company, led by our CEO, is looking at commercialization, how to commercialize this. So I am not a businessman. I am a scientist. So the only thing I can do is tell the public, but I'm very much invested in trying to bring new discoveries to help society. And that's my job. And so I will keep doing the science.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And I really thank you for gracing our show today and keeping us informed about this very exciting product, the Porosome Therapeutics.
Thank you.
And really,
Thank you for having me.
it's very, very technical or very scientific for many of us, but it sounds to me, speaking true, speaking true to our non-scientific mind, it sounds very exciting. I thank you for gracing our show, and keep us updated for
we will be happy to. Thank you for having me.
Maraming salamat po. At
Bye.
maraming salamat din po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Dr.
Bye.
Jen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to the Veronica segment of the show. Today, I have a very exciting, interesting personality who will be talking to us about the upcoming Rogers Park Restaurant Week. And her name is Miss Sandy Price. Hi, Sandy. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, Miss Sandy Price is the Executive Director of Rogers Park Business Alliance, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, Sandy, there is a very exciting event that's coming up pretty soon. Can you? And this will be happening in Rogers Park. Can you please talk to our viewers about this exciting event, which is called the Restaurant Week 2, right?
Yes. Chicago has its restaurant week, and some of the North Side community organizations thought it would be fun to do a restaurant week for the North Side. So We have about 50 restaurants among the different communities. Rogers Park is a part of Restaurant Week for North Side. It's Rogers Park, Andersonville, Edgewater, Lincoln Square, Ravenswood, North Center, Uptown. And each of these communities has restaurants have chosen to participate. And they have been asked to offer prefix menus, either for lunch, brunch, or dinner, or a combination of those, like Restaurant Week does. Each restaurant will be offering their special menus between March 1st and March 15th.
March 15. Around how many people are expected to attend in this kind of event? And of course, are the restaurants offering special low prices in their menus?
So they're not offering low prices in their menus. What they are offering is this prefix menu. And then for the most part, either there's something special that's not on the menu that they might be offering just for this Restaurant Week event, or it's a deal because you're getting either 3 or 4 courses with your meal. And so I believe that we've already heard that our public house, which is one of the restaurants in Rogers Park, couldn't keep up with the capacity this weekend. So that's really great to hear that they had so many people that were coming in to try their Northside Restaurant Week menu.
Okay, for how long has this been going on?
This is the first year. No, this is the first year. We've never done this before.
First year? Oh my goodness. Wow, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
So so far, you said there are about 40 or 50 restaurant participants
Yes.
around the Rogers Park area.
But not just Rogers Park, the north side of Chicago. So that includes all the other communities.
All right, very good. And so, Sandy, what is the purpose of this Restaurant Week? The Restaurant Week organization. Is it an organization? Yeah.
So Northside Restaurant Week is this coalition of different Northside business service organizations. And the hope is that usually this time of year, we don't have 70-degree weather. It's kind of cold and people don't want to leave their homes. And especially restaurants don't have, the winter is not their busy time because so many people don't go out and the weather's not great. So we thought this would be an opportunity to get people to come out to visit the businesses that are in their community, maybe get a sampling of things that they don't already know that this restaurant is offers. And so it's a great way to promote the restaurants, to get people to come out and visit the restaurants. They don't have to make advance reservations. They don't have to buy tickets in advance. We do recommend that they make reservations at the restaurants, but they don't have to buy tickets or anything. If someone is not interested in the Northside Restaurant Week menu, you could still go with friends and people can order off the menu. So the regular menu is still available. And there's the special Northside Restaurant Week. So it's a way to get people to come out and try some new things and maybe visit some restaurants that they haven't been to before. We have 5 in Rogers Park. If I can list them, that would be great. We have Asian Station on Morse Avenue, Honey Bear Cafe, and Smack Dab. Oh, they Asian Station is great because it's not just Chinese or Thai or, like some of the restaurants. They do sushi, they do Thai, they do banh mi sandwiches, they do Chinese, they do everything. We also have Honey Bear Cafe and Smack Dab on Clark Street. We have our public house in Jarvis Square and Picnic Wine and Provisions on Sheridan Road. So we have diverse restaurants in diverse geographic areas of Rogers Park offering very diverse menus.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And this starts this coming weekend, right?
It started last week, this past
It
weekend.
started last week already.
Yes,
And
and it
last,
goes,
last
it's
week.
Northside Restaurant Week, but it's really 2 weeks.
Okay, all right. Sounds very good. And I wish you good luck. And I know that this is your first year, and
Yes.
you're going to be repeating it again next year,
I
and
think
so
so.
on and so forth. All right. Okay. Please invite our viewing audience before we sign off.
Yes, we would love to see everyone. You can learn more about Northside Restaurant Week at our website, which is rpba for Rogers Park Business Alliance.org. And you can see all the restaurants that are participating and what they're offering at our website.
And it is the the diverse participation, right?
Yes.
Terrific. All right, Sandy. I thank you for gracing our show today, and I wish you good luck with your res- uh, restaurant week. And okay, and please keep us updated if you wish. All
Thank
right.
you. We will. I hope to see you out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. How I wish I could. All right, I'll get myself a driver and enjoy all those menus, exciting
There you go.
menus offered by those restaurant participants. And Sandy, uh, maraming salamat sa iyong pagdating dito sa aming show, which is a thank you very much for gracing our show today. Right, and enjoy your weekend. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye! Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. At ako po si Veronica. Today, I have a very respectable, honorable person on our show for this interview. And his name is Judge Ross Hartigan. Did I pronounce your name right? Okay, how can I welcome Judge Hartigan in this show? Welcome to our show, Judge. Here comes our judge. All right. Welcome to our show. Judge Hartigan has been serving as a judge in the Cook County, right? The Circuit
Right.
Court of Cook County.
That's right.
All right. Very good. And let us ask Judge Hartigan to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. And as I mentioned, I have a lot of friends in the Filipino community. I know how to pronounce pancit and adobe. I think it's called adoba. I've ate that food with families, and so I'm kind of familiar with the culture. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, and we moved to Oak Park, that's where my daughter lives now. I went to St. Ignatius High School on the west side of Chicago, DePaul University, played a little basketball, and then I went to John Marshall Law School. From then, I started practicing as a lawyer. I also taught a lot too. I taught at Morton College in Cicero part-time, and then I also taught for 20 some years at DePaul University, and I did have some Filipino students, and I've helped them also in law school, where I teach at Kent Law School part-time. I was a judge for 7 years, but because I was president of the Illinois State Bar, which is a statewide organization, I had to step off to maintain my presidential duties. And as a result, I want to get back on the bench. 7 years is not a lot for a judge. A lot of them are they on the bench a lot longer. I've been highly qualified by the Chicago Bar Association. That's the highest qualification you can get. I'm also highly qualified by the Illinois State Bar. I'm probably one of the most highly qualified judges running in this election with the high bar ratings. And I have the experience as a judge being in a courtroom. I was a judge on many serious cases, a lot of them being malpractice cases, personal injury, and contracts and things of that nature. If it was a bench trial or a jury trial, I have a lot of jury trial experience. I represented the city of Chicago on litigated matters. I also represented the city of Evanston and other communities. There's a Filipino community out in DuPage who was run by a Filipino mayor, and I'm trying to remember the name, but I represented them. And I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, that's in Glendale Heights. The
Right.
late Mayor Fajardo.
That's right. And I represented him. So I've had the ability to be involved in a lot of interesting legal cases. I don't think my competition or anybody running has the qualifications that I have and the experience and the level of leadership of a bar association, which has well over 75,000 members. And that's quite an honor to lead lawyers like that, to be in charge. I also ran for state representative in my area, and I was township supervisor, Lyons Township. So the bottom line is that I need your support. I'm highly qualified, as I mentioned. My punch number is 152, and the punch number. And also, my website is Russ RUSS Hartigan HARTIGAN for judge.com, and that tells you a lot what's going on. And as I mentioned, the punch number 152, and I'm out there campaigning, going to all parts of Cook County. Cook County is the second largest county in America. It's a big county. And obviously, I put a few miles on my car and meeting people and going to churches and meeting people at church when the service is over. And I'm active in our church, Catholic Church, St. John of the Cross in Western Springs. It's a big church. It serves a lot of communities in the western suburbs. So that's about it. I do you know Aurora Abella Austriaco?
Yeah, I know Judge Austriaco. I know Judge Vandari. I know Judge. There's quite a few of them, and I know all of them. So suddenly there are so many Filipino judges.
Yes.
But I have a question. You are currently serving as a judge, right?
Yes.
You also serve as the president of the Bar Association.
Well, not any longer, but I'm on the board, but I don't, the assembly. It's only a 1-year term, but I did serve as president.
Okay. My question is, you're running in this upcoming primary election on what? What's the date? March 18th?
It's March 19th. March 19th is the last day, the very last day that you can vote. People are voting now. They're voting at courthouses. They're voting in Maywood, Skokie, Rolling Meadows, Bridgeview, Markham. Those are all courthouses that are open for voting.
And this is county-wide.
Yes, countywide, it goes all the way out, portions of Aurora and Elgin, portions of Bartlett, goes that far out, and portions of Hanover Park, portions of Buffalo Grove, and then you go south, and you pick up Hazel Crest and other south suburban areas that almost touch upon Indiana.
Okay, is this are you running for re-election? Or
Well, I had to step off for to be president of State Bar, and also I was concerned about my wife who had a serious illness, and actually my daughter-in-law both had it at the same time, and they don't give you a leave of absence in Cook County. They don't allow you to step off for a time period. It's something that should change in the future, I think. And the other thing, yes.
yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you are running for judge in the Cook County area. Okay, of Illinois. All right. Okay. But what is your platform? Can you share with us the platform or the?
Well, I like to be as a person who was president of a bar association. I'd like to see where we could bring services to people in Cook County where they are able to at least get some advice from lawyers. One of the problems we have is people can't afford lawyers, and they need to have legal representation, and we have to figure that one out where they can go to a association to get some free legal advice, because in criminal matters you get a public defender. In civil matters you got to go and try to find a lawyer out in the public and try to, if hopefully you can afford the lawyer. I've seen this as a judge. I've seen it in landlord-tenant cases where they can't afford a lawyer. I've seen it in contract cases. I've seen it in property damage and on and on. So we have to do something to allow people to get some advice and maybe representation.
Representation for the multi-diverse population of Illinois, right? Which includes the Filipinos like us.
Well, that's right. And, you know, a lot of Filipinos are in the medical field, and I've had a bunch of friends who are nurses and doctors, because I did that type of work. I represented hospitals and I represented nurses and through their insurance policy. And so I got to be familiar with the culture. And I know there are a bunch of islands in Philippines. Unfortunately, I've never been to the Philippines. I heard it's beautiful, and there's a lot of different islands. I know that. And I know they're very Catholic, and I'm very Catholic for that matter, and for what that's worth. And I enjoy being with them. They're nice people. They're educated. They're friendly, and I like them. And it's a good thing to be around them.
So you got to include to visit the Philippines in your in your calendar in the future, and you will love it. It's a beautiful country, and I've never been back there. Right? I mean, since for how many years now? I've been, since 2014. Anyway, okay. One last word, Judge, to appeal to our viewing audience for your candidacy.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention, the Illinois Supreme Court put me on a committee judicial performance, to help judges perform better. And I was on that committee to help judges, show up early, listen to people, don't interrupt, be friendly to people. I always opened the courtroom with a smile, and I said, "Good morning, everyone." And I want to see people at ease. Nobody's going to the electric chair. So I mean, they are nervous because they don't know what's going to happen always. I try to educate them as far as if you plead guilty, maybe it won't be a mark on your record, and you'll take maybe a small fine or something, and you tell them that, especially if they don't have a lawyer. And I try to at least educate them in terms of what they're doing, and always the correct thing. And then when I was in traffic court, I was so good that I handled 3 courtrooms almost at the same time. I would zip into one, zip into another, and zip into the third one, and there were shortage of judges at a certain time. So I know how to handle a call. I know how to be respectful to people.
Wow, that's nice to hear from a judge. Respectful to people. All right. And you get respect back when you
Well, I hope so, in the form of a vote.
you are a very good judge. And I thank you for gracing our show today. It is our honor, the Honorable Ras Hartigan, to be on our show today. And I wish you good luck in the upcoming election.
Thank you. The punch number is 152.
152 punch number. Remember that. 152. I will try to put this, Sonia, on the frame. Okay. Thank you so much, Judge Artigan. And and I will be watching the polls. I will be voting for you. I live in Cook County. For sure.
152.
152. All right. How many judges are running this time?
Not as many as in the past. Not as many.
Not as many.
Some are not being contested. They don't have an opponent. I have a opponent, but her credentials don't match mine at all in terms of all the things I've done and the bar ratings, the Chicago bar and the Illinois State Bar.
Oh, okay. Wow. I wish you good luck. And
thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Judge Hartigan. Let's vote for him. Punch number 152. Correct? Bye.
Correct.
Judge.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Karina Quetcher bringing you this week's local news from our community. Parents of Chicago school students are suing the Chicago Teachers Union, seeking damages over a teacher strike during the COVID-19 pandemic that kept children out of school longer. The lawsuits, filed by attorneys Patrick Hughes and Daniel Soar from Hughes & Soar LLC, stem from a strike that took place in January 2022. The attorneys said the strikes forced Chicago parents to face unexpected childcare costs, take unpaid leave from work, and cope with additional financial strains.
John Kugler is a former employee of the Chicago Teachers Union and said he was there to help prepare the January 2022 strike. The Illinois Department of Labor's Division of Occupational Safety and Health has released an updated fact sheet detailing the top 20 fire department safety violations. The standards cited by Illinois OSHA occurred during fire department inspections between 2022 to 2023. Illinois OSHA inspects municipal fire departments and fire protection districts across the state due to the highly hazardous environment in which firefighters work. The division focuses on identifying lessons from incidents and sharing those lessons with the Illinois Fire Service so the lessons identified become lessons learned. Since 2019, Illinois OSHA has conducted over 700 fire department inspections under the Illinois Occupational Safety and Health Act. Fire departments can use the top 20 fact sheet to audit their programs and operations to improve workplace safety and health. 7 of the 20 most frequent violations involve the respiratory protection standard. Illinois Environmental Protection Agency Director John J. Kim announced round 2 of grants available to fund the purchase and installation of electric vehicles charging infrastructure at publicly accessible locations. This opportunity is funded by Governor Pritzker's bipartisan Rebuild Illinois Capital Plan and authorized under the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act. Illinois is leading the clean energy revolution, and my administration is building on our momentum by investing in public EV chargers across our state, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. Thanks to our $44 million investment, public and private organizations will now be able to install and maintain the infrastructure we need to encourage more EV drivers. Illinois EPA is excited to offer another funding opportunity, which extends eligibility to include units of local government and publicly available Level 2 charging ports, said Director Kim. This funding opportunity complements the federal National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure funding being implemented through the Illinois Department of Transportation and will build on the Pritzker administration's commitment to electric vehicle growth in Illinois. While some are arguing for more resources and protection for non-citizen migrants in Illinois, many Chicago residents say taxpayers have had enough and feel less safe. The Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights gathered various groups together in Springfield Thursday to demand an additional $40 million in state funds for services such as interpretation and translation for the non-English speakers, among other measures. Some of those other measures that the group is pushing for includes reopening re-enrollment for the state subsidized health care for non-citizens. That program is expected to cost taxpayers nearly $800 million. The Pritzker administration curbed enrollment in an effort to save taxpayer funds. The governor looks to spend more than $600 million in taxpayer funds on the issue in the fiscal year that begins July 1st. The Illinois Commerce Commission approved its annual 5-year crossing safety improvement program to implement life-saving safety upgrades at highway rail crossings across Illinois. Over $410 million from the Grade Crossing Protection Fund and Rebuild Illinois will help local communities and railroads pay for much-needed safety improvements at 1,310 crossing locations. Illinois is one of America's largest rail transportation hubs, but there is an inherent risk of crashes where highways and railroad tracks intersect. Greenlighting the use of the Grade Crossing Protection Fund is essential for keeping pedestrians and motorists safe at Illinois crossings, said ICC Chairman Doug Scott. In 2023, preliminary statistics indicate there were 90 collisions at public highway rail crossings in Illinois, compared to 123 in 2022, a 26.8% decrease. Total fatalities resulting from collisions at highway rail crossings in Illinois decreased from 28 in 2022 to 18 in 2023, a decrease of 35.7%. Illinois Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulias announced that his office is now accepting applications for the second year of his administration's summer job program. More than 120 positions are available for college, trade school, and graduate school students or graduating high school students who are enrolled in college or trade school in the fall. Job offerings include working at DMVs or at one of the various departments in the Secretary of State's office. The goal of our summer jobs program is to provide a pathway for young people to explore career opportunities, build their skill sets, earn money, and make connections through a real-world job experience, Gianoulias said. This type of hands-on work also helps with future academic and professional success and can translate into long-term benefits for our communities. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Yes.